Now, why did I want to quit my business? This is a really raw one. Thinking back to several years ago now, I had been consulting for about a year fully out of corporate, but I've been doing the side hustle probably for at least 5 years. So doing, between work and working out what I wanted to do for myself. I'd also been a senior coach and facilitator for another brand, but I was really ready to do my own thing, and that's when I launched the Sassy CEO brand, I guess, and the first iteration of a program to do with the Sassy CEO concept. And I had great clients. The program filled really, really well. I was really happy with it. And I just found myself starting to feel stuck because I was making money and things were rolling, and I just felt stuck and not quite sure about moving on. And I about a year later, I actually met with a really great business mentor, and he gave me some really great advice. At the time, I thought it was pretty crappy, actually, but he actually gave me some advice, but I think there was a missing piece of information. He basically looked at my business and he was like, Paula, I don't understand why you seem so stuck. All you need to do is literally triple the people that you've got in your program right now, and you're literally on like $250,000 business to at least 300,000. And it's that simple. And I remember walking away thinking, okay, well, logically I get that in terms of the numbers, but I just couldn't help but feel like it just didn't feel right. It felt really wrong to me because I knew that I had real blocks around the scalability of the way I was doing things. I was pricing things wrong, totally over delivering, and I knew deep down inside me that I was going to be creating something that wouldn't serve the people that I actually wanted to serve properly, and it would leave me as a burnt out crazy woman, and that's no place to be when you actually genuinely want to serve and help people. Plus it would leave nothing left over for the thing that I really wanted to do, was actually have a baby. Like the whole reason why I wanted to work for myself initially was because I knew that I wanted to have a family, and I wanted to be able to work for myself, choose my own hours, make my own calls, have freedom, have choice. And so this kind of wasn't aligning with my own personal values, and it was leaving me feeling really stuck and pretty low, actually. And so, they started having the thoughts like, maybe I'm not cut out for this, maybe this is never going to work. Perhaps I should just quit everything. And I'm just wondering, does anyone else here have those sorts of thoughts sometimes in their business where they're like, oh, maybe this is all too hard. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe I just need to go back and, do the 9-to-5 thing. Like it's that internal dialogue. And, it can really keep you stuck from actually doing the things that you say you want to do, because you start to believe that, well, maybe this is actually not for me. Maybe I'm not one of those people. Everyone else can do that, but maybe I can't do that. And I might add, so at this stage, I'd invested close to $30,000 in marketing advice and strategies and some service. I'd done tens of thousands of dollars in coaching. I'd given my time for free to another brand to learn. And, so like financially and time-wise, I felt that I'd really invested in all the best strategies that they were to grow my business. So why was I stuck? I had access to the best planning systems. I knew how to plan like the fastest start companies on the planet. I knew the nuts and bolts of scaling things out. So why was I stuck? And then I started to look at the other people that I'd worked with over the last sort of three years, and looked at all the other plans, tens of thousand plans that I created and people that I'd spoken to in their business, and realizing, well, hang on a second, they're breaking it too. And why are they sabotaging? And why are they not fulfilling on the so-called guru marketing plans? Maybe there's something wrong with the plans. Maybe there's something wrong with the strategies. And that's when I realized actually not anything wrong with the strategies. Like if you go and you buy an online course to learn how to run a Facebook ad, or you want to go and learn how to do some funnels, or you want to learn the best strategies for doing live events, or the best strategies for building up your product sales in your Shopify store. If you actually follow people's strategies and you didn't get in your own way, I'm pretty sure like if you stuck at it and you didn't quit, you're actually going to get the results that you need. What do most people do though? They sabotage. They find reasons why this is not going to work for them. They manifest all sorts of shit happening. Their ego goes to town on them. It's all about the internal programming. So really, you can't have one without the other. I'm not saying that you don't need any strategy at all. You need to have, obviously, strategies. You need to be able to bounce your ideas off. You need to be able to have that, that solid business acumen and that business plan, but you also need to be really mindful of what is stopping you from actually being a wealthy, prosperous woman. What stories are you telling yourself about success? What do you fear about success? What do you fear about this business truly exploding? I know for me personally, I was shit scared about, like, if I scale this out, I'm actually going to start making more money than my husband currently makes. What's that going to do to my relationships? I'd had situations in the past where I had made more money than the person that I was in a relationship with, and maybe that meant that they were going to, you know, my husband was going to leave me like all the other people had left me, because you know what, maybe men just don't like powerful women. Or, you know, maybe I'll never get to have the baby because I'm always going to be too driven, and it means that I'm never going to have time, and, you know, I'll just get stuck into this void of just constantly wanting to make money. And so that's another reason why I should stay small. So all these stories and internal programming was stopping me. And it wasn't until I really worked out, hang on a second, I've got all the strategies. I know how to build business. I know what I'm doing. I need to let go of that stuff. And I truly started doing the internal work that literally things just started to go into the flow. And, you know, I now have times like I've had my first child and I've had my biggest quarter in my business after having an emergency C-section and all the other things that go with having a new baby. So, you know, I'm here as living proof. I'm not here to create a cookie cutter. I don't want you to just go, I want to be exactly like Paula, but I'm here to just remind you that you can do the things that you say that you want to do. You can have the wealth, you can have the success.
Hi, amazing one. I hope you're loving this video. If it's vibing with you and feels like it's the right fit for you, then please come join us over in our free Facebook group. I'd love to get to know more about you and your business really soon.